All right, welcome to my FX Buddies, the podcast. And I say podcast because there are more than one mediums on which you can enjoy this content. I was trying to figure out which word I wanted to use. But the best way, and let me see, there's nothing really fun today, not like yesterday, like the Crocs that look like the Xbox controller. Yeah, if you didn't see that, be sure to watch. Oh, well, it wasn't yesterday. It was 2 days ago, right? Because I didn't record yesterday. Oh my gosh. I don't know if it's because of the holiday or whatever, but the uploading times for YouTube and Spotify were crazy. Like 451 minutes. And so, yeah, that just got scrapped. But anyway, so what we're going to do today is go with yesterday's news and today's, and it's not really, well, we'll just get into it. But I do hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving with your family. I hope did you eat all you could eat, and did you shop till you drop today? Yeah. So, and we're not done, right? Because there's probably Super Saver Saturday, Sell Sunday, right? Cyber Monday. Oh no, that's Christmas time, right? Is that Christmas time? I don't know, but whatever. My family knows they don't get no gifts from me. If I'm to shop, it's gonna be something for me, like some. What do I need? I need some collagen right now. I'm out of my collagen. I'm trying to see, is it on sale? But anyway, yeah, okay, so let's get into it. All right. Well, there was that, let me see, do I want to use the word? No, I'm going to say a kablooey, drone kablooey in Kurdistan. And it was bad. It was really bad. It's been followed all over. It's in Chinese news, Russian news, Egypt's news, and it affected more than one oil field. So we control one. The Emiratis control another one. Yeah, so it's really bad, and they still don't even have all the electricity was wiped out. One article said 75%. Another one said 85%. Oh, sorry. I had the microphone backwards. Anyway, so it should be a little louder now. And then as of today, it said that it was only like 65% returned, but also Iran was like, oh, we're gonna have to cut off some of the gas that comes through because it was damaged, that the pipelines were damaged. But the funny thing is, well, not funny, ironic thing is, who does everyone think did the damage? The neighbor, right? So, yeah. So there's going to be an investigation. Sadani's putting a committee together, and some of there's an older politician. Matter of fact, I think that article's going to be here. But he's like, you should expose who did this, and it's a golden opportunity for you to get a second term. I'm like, never mind, there's people without gas and lights, and I think it's cold. It's well, I'll say cool. Maybe it's cool. But I know Kurdistan gets cold. There's parts of Kurdistan where it snows. But so, but it's been raining. This is like their season where it rains. And I think it's supposed to start tomorrow again. But anyway, so yeah, all right. So we'll get into today's. Well, this is an article from today, but then I'm going to go through yesterday's. And oh, thank you. Shout out to Miss Fabula Felicia Jewelry Boutique. one of the sponsors. Thank you, thank you. All right, let's see. Central bank warns rumors are manipulating the dollar market. So, and someone said that militiaman mentioned the rate, the parallel market rate is at 13. It's not. And you have to be not careful, but you really have to pay attention when you listen to militiaman, because sometimes, like now when there's not a lot of news, he'll review. He'll say, let's look back at, blah, blah, blah. And he'll lump in and he'll show where they were, or talk about anyway. Or I don't know, maybe in his room he shows stuff. But I know on his YouTube videos he just pretty much talks to the camera. But so he does a review. This is where they were, this is where they are now. So yeah, this is for yesterday. Fridays is hard to get the rate. They normally don't. I don't want to say normally, but there was other news, right? That was more priority, that the oil field in Kurdistan. So doing a rate quote is not a priority as it is the other days of the week. But so yesterday, the 27th, the parallel market it's not even in 13s anymore. 1412.5 dinars per dollar is the best value. The worst looks like 1432.5. So 1432.5. But I know there was, remember, because I even reported on that, there was an article that had said something about the parallel market was the lowest it had been in 10 years. Because I was, I rarely get excited, but I was like, this might be it. Where, this is it was 1350. But no, here we are. We're still here. But yeah, so it's not that's where the parallel market is right now. Okay. And that's because of rumors and speculators, right? Because there's no reason people shouldn't be using the dollar, right? But they are, and we're going to see an article that clearly says they are. There's only 3 cases: students, travel, and medical things. Those are the only 3 reasons supposedly people should be using dollars, right? Okay, so this came out. The central bank warns those spreading rumors about the dollar exchange rate. The Central Bank of Iraq confirmed that there is no intention to change the official exchange rate, while noting that the rumors that are spread from time to time aim to speculate in the parallel market. It pointed out that its monetary policy has succeeded in curbing inflation, as evidenced by international recognition. So here's the guy who's he's a member of the CBI's media office. Remember, I did a little video snippet of him. He says there are parties trying to fish in troubled waters and spread rumors and false news that are outside the central bank's jurisdiction in order to raise exchange rate in the parallel market, explaining that the central bank always defends monetary policy and the general price level. And here, according to the IMF and the World Bank, inflation rates in Iraq have reached historic lows, even a negative rate, which I don't know how you can get that, but there it is, right? Which is happening for the first time and is considered an achievement for monetary policy in preserving purchasing power, especially the poor class. So but just like here, they keep telling us, oh, inflation, this. But when you talk to the people, they're like, I'm spending more and I'm getting less. Same thing over there. If you talk to the citizens, I just couldn't find any articles. It was all in social media or videos that are not on YouTube. so I can't get the translation right. But, because they just had a holiday. It wasn't a major one for the whole country, but for the people that did want that celebrate, I think that's who they were talking about. But anyway, so here is a delegation from Michigan, USA, visits Basra to discuss cooperation and city twinning. So if you've never heard that, there's one in Tennessee, Long Beach twins with, I don't know if it's a city in Iraq or a governance in Iraq, but I used to live in Long Beach. I loved Long Beach. It was great. Well, it was years ago though, so I don't know what it's like now, but, and, they had all kinds of signs that they were so proud to be an international city and everything. But anyway, so if you want to read about that, you can. So, and of course it's Dearborn, right? They're from Dearborn. Yeah. So the deputy governor of Basra, there's that person's name. It's probably a male, because these two positions right here are the power positions, and they're both males. So, let's see. The first Iraqi to win a seat in the Michigan government. Look at that. But I was trying to read this because it said infrastructure. Oh well. But yeah, and remember, they want Basra to be an oil hub, a major oil hub. But currently, what's happening in the streets? Yeah, the contractors are like, where's our money? What? Where's our money? 2 days in a row. They were, 3 days actually, because I keep forgetting I didn't record yesterday. So, yeah. But I think today was the last day they were going to do that. Probably because it's going to start raining. No, they will. That's one thing about them. They will go out in the heat, in the rain. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, let's hurry up. Look, it's already 12 minutes. So this is interesting. Rashid Bank announces the possibility of withdrawing funds and cashing checks from all its branches. So clearly there's some people that still get checks. But I think what they're trying to do is get these people from the parallel market into the banks. Because, you cash a check, you don't deposit it, so you don't need a bank account. But I just have a feeling if they go to the bank, they'll be like, well, why don't you open an account? Right? And, but I thought this was interesting. And I don't recall seeing it before, which would make sense because they were never this widely digital. But yeah, so they put that out, and they even had an ad, like just a quick little 10-second thing, right? Not a full commercial time ad. All right, so here again, they're talking about Central Bank of Iraq announces the success of its monetary policy in curbing inflation. So now remember, this was yesterday. All right, this is a group, a committee, I think, not a group, but this is Fawad Hussein. They're reviewing the U.S. Treasury Department's decision to add entities and individuals to its list. So that happened on October 9th. When they're like, well, we're not putting sanctions on you yet, but we're considering putting sanctions on you, and this is who and which companies and which banks. So I'm thinking, and it's been widely announced that Mark Zavia is on his way over there, that I'll show you that he got his instructions from the U.S. president of what he's supposed to do. And so they're probably like, we better get on this because he's probably going to ask us, what did we do? What have we done to correct these situations? But they talked about the importance of maintaining the strength of Iraq's international financial relations, the need to continue implementing economic reform programs, and consolidation of governance principles in line with the supreme national interests. So here's another version that's a little shorter, if you want to read that. Here's Alia Locke. He was at the Arab Banking Conference, and he talked about a couple of things, but it seemed mostly they wanted to know about the digital currency. And digital currency will solve 90% of the problems in the Iraqi financial system. So they're really believing that the smuggling will stop. But, I'm not going to go there. Okay. So he affirmed on Thursday that lasting solutions must be built in a way that closes the gaps in the financial system. So the conference was called Investing in Reconstruction, the Role of Banks. The main problem between the Iraqi treasury and society is the use of the dollar in cash within Iraq. That's Alia Locke. He's saying that. So there's people using the dollar. And he says, we have worked on this issue and presented other alternatives that reduce dependence on cash, and we have developed the financial system so that cash dollars are restricted to travelers only. But I don't think that's true, right? So they have travelers' dollar system that prevents any attempts to circumvention, emphasizing the U.S. Federal Reserve indicated Iraq ranks first in controlling the use of cash dollars within the country. Yeah, okay. He noted that these measures have reduced the use of foreign currency by 80% and shifted the majority of domestic financial transactions to the Iraqi dinar. And that's probably true, but there's still a lot of people using the dollar, I think. So that's how they're able to spread rumors. Oh, wait, let me finish this. So Allah concluded his remarks by noting that work is underway to develop the digital currency. I think it's already developed. All right, so the central bank warns entities are spreading rumors to raise the dollar's value in the market. Now, because there was some time they were closed, the price was so volatile that they had shut down for 2 days and weren't selling because it was like too much volatility. All right, I think this is the same. Yeah. Oh, this is another version of that. Another version of that guy talking. But because this one says they're preserving purchasing power, especially for the poor class. I don't think the other one said that. Yeah. And here, determining the exchange rate is the exclusive prerogative. Even though they spelled it wrong, but I don't change the articles. But determining the exchange rate is the exclusive prerogative of the central bank. And they list the law that made that and everything. The central bank's technical opinion at this stage does not support any change or increase in the exchange rate. So there, they did say increase, right? Almost as if he heard me. In the last video, I said, I think they're talking about they're not going to decrease the value, right? But anyway, it is what it is. Given the stability achieved in foreign currency reserves and price levels. All right, here's another article where they're talking about reviving the 3-year budget experiment. I hope they don't. And this is the planning ministry. Because, I think that's interesting. Parliament is closed, right? They're not there. So planning in line with, along with, who else? There was another group. Decision makers. Who is that? Planning and its decision makers. Yeah. The Government Investment Program Department also was there. So, I thought that was interesting. Here's Hoshar Zabari saying Sudani has a golden opportunity to boost his chances for running for a second term. All right, so here, if you'd like to support my FX buddies, and there's only 2 days left if you want to get in the coin that I've been talking about. And if you did get in, thank you. And log in to your back office and you'll see it looks different. Yeah, the letters, the font is larger. That's one thing we noticed. The font is larger. Oh, and there's those 2 press releases. Yeah. And then also, so Buy Me a Coffee will be live when this blog is live. Cash App is always live. And I'm $ Tishwash and PayPal. And big or small, I appreciate it all. Thank you in advance for your generosity. All right, so now these were things posted today. United States to inaugurate its largest Middle East diplomatic facility in Erbil. So they've been working on this for quite some time, maybe 7 years. I don't think it says. But yeah, it's gonna open. I guess they'll have a ceremony, some kind of ceremony or something. But it's already been given special attention by the neighbor a few times during its them building it, whatever, development, building it, constructing it, I don't know, whatever. So yeah, it's the largest U.S. consulate, a major indicator for the strong relations between the U.S. and Kurdistan. All right, income gap. Iraq lags behind oil-producing countries despite its enormous wealth. And if I'm a citizen and I'm reading this, I'm like, yeah, what's up with that? Why? Why haven't they still made us rich like we've been promised since at least 2018, right? So you can read that if you like. And it's pretty straightforward. Not a lot of paragraphs. Bulletproof. 3 clear economic messages. What does this mean for the Iraqi citizen? Okay. Here's another article about rumors and panic. Well, let me just read that last. Let me go back. What does this mean for the Iraqi citizen? Thus, Iraq's ranking reveals that economic growth does not reach the lives of citizens, and that the standard of living does not represent the true wealth of the country. It also places the next government before the responsibility of restructuring the economy and transforming natural wealth into actual development, if it has the ability and will to do so. Now you see that? Let's make that a little larger. If it has the ability and will to do so. So for those of you who are like, why aren't they doing this? They lie. They keep saying they're going to do this and they don't do it because they don't have the ability. And go back to the last special edition that I did. I'll put a link into the description, the link to the video, and it specifically says the IMF and the bank, BIS, Bank of International Settlements, is blocking Iraq from joining the Forex market. So it's not as simple as flip the switch so I can go get my money. I know it's frustrating, and especially talk to someone today who's been in the, well, not talk, communicated with someone who's been in you know, having Iraqi dinar for since 2006. So imagine how they feel, right? But all right. So what was this? Okay, so here's another article about rumors, panic, what's really behind Iraq's financial scare, and it is fake news wanting to interfere with Sadani's second term. USD prices are stable. The upcoming December 1st change, right? And there's one more thing. What's the financial risks? Yeah, because they keep scaring them, saying that we're not going to be able to pay your salaries. We have liquidity crisis, economic governance. And Mohammed Saleh was interviewed. He got a haircut. He was interviewed on TV, and he said, "There's no concern. Don't worry. Everything's fine. The salaries are covered, and the operational budget is covered." So, look at that, how big that is. Widespread criticism after the SuperKey app crashed during Black Friday sales, and that's in Iraq. SuperKey is the new name for the key card. Remember? So they were promoting, they had lots of promotions, and people were trying to get in, and it crashed. But, going digital is just so wonderful. So they're going to file complaints, and, nothing will happen. But if you want to read that, you can. Okay, these next three I'm not going to talk about. But basically, Mark Savaya receives new orders from the U.S. president before heading to Iraq. And it doesn't really give details. Just, he's the third U.S. envoy since Paul Bremer in 2003, and then Brett McGurk. So I guess he got to spend Thanksgiving at Mar-a-Lago. So there's some pictures here. Savaya said, "I received my instructions from the commander-in-chief regarding Iraq." See, and it's very short, so there's not a whole lot of details. But there's images of them. And that one's a little longer. A message that is unequivocal. The envoy issued a stern warning to the armed factions. "Let me be clear and unequivocal. There is no place for such groups with pew-pews in a fully sovereign Iraq," adding a direct American pledge. "The United States will fully support these efforts. Every illegal group carrying pew-pews and those who support it will be pursued, confronted, and held accountable." Yep. And here is this. This was a pretty good article. Is this the last one? No. Okay, so these last two. Okay, let me show you something really neat. So Christmas is coming. And for those of you who have grandchildren, Barcelona prodigy signs advertising deal with Nike at 12 years old. Of course, that's not in America, right? For those of you who are not looking, Barcelona, duh, it's right there in the title. Okay, anyway. So, but the sport, can you guess what sport he's playing if you're not looking at the screen? Soccer. So I know we like to push our boys to football. Well, American football, but look, and there he is. He's signing the contract. And I guess they have some kind, that looks like an ID right there. Let's see, can I make this bigger? Yeah, that's an ID. And there he is signing. So I hope he has some good parents or guardians around. Look at that name. Yeah, you say that name. I can't say none of those names. What is that? Penny? So, yeah. They've been watching him since he was 9. And now he's 12 and he's signing a contract. So I just hope that they don't use and abuse him, you know? But anyway, yeah, so you might want to get the grandson, daughter, even, some soccer cleats instead of some football cleats, right? Anyway, okay, so these last 2 articles are, well, they're written by Dr. Ahmed. Yeah, however you say that. So they're mostly probably for citizen education, but they give real reasons why devaluing would be beneficial to the state, to the country, definitely not the people. But this one is the exchange rate dilemma, government alternatives between deficit financing and economic stability. And they talk about the 2026 budget. So it's not just rumors, right? For these 2, they give real reasons. And plus they also say that's not the only tool that they could use, right? There's other things they could do. They could combine multiple tools together to bring down the deficit pressure. But so it's not just a rumor, you know what I mean? There's real factual basis. And so I think we just need to be aware that conversation is out there, right? I know we don't want to think that they'll do that, but you just never know. Okay, and this guy, he's talking about how we got out of a depression in 1932. And he's another doctor. Well, I can say his name, Bilal Al-Khalifa. So if you want to just get some good general education about how money works from another country's smart people's perspectives, those last 2 articles, that's why I put them there. All right, so I'm going to close out here. I'm not expecting much tomorrow, but you never know, they could surprise me. So if there's anything worthwhile, I'll post, but I will definitely post on Sunday. There should be some news Sunday because it's back to work, back to regular everything on Sunday. So thank you for your thumbs up. They really do help. Oh, I was really talking to someone, and because I don't advertise, I don't tell people I have a YouTube channel. So someone that I know was like, yeah, I was scrolling YouTube and I saw your name and I clicked on the video and I was like, yeah, I have a YouTube channel about the Iraqi dinar. And he was like, it's really good. He only watched one. I think he only watched one. And he said, it was really good. And I was like, oh, thank you. So he's gonna subscribe. But yeah, I thought that was funny. All right, anyway, yeah, so thank you again. I appreciate all the comments and everything. You guys are great and funny and smart, and I really appreciate it. All right, so that's it. Accumulate while we wait for the rate to appreciate. Don't miss any meals and pay all your bills. Enjoy the rest of your morning, night, noon, whatever time frame you are indulging in this content, and until next time.